Chapter 43. Level of Attachment. One day, a Brahmin beggar intentionally traveled from another region to receive gold coins from Master Bhavari. But Master Bhavari had already given all his wealth to the poor, leaving not a single coin. Master Bhavari told the Brahmin beggar to return and come back next year. But the Brahmin thought that Master Bhavari refused him, because he didn't come at the designated time, and became dissatisfied. Because he had traveled far, coming back again next year was very difficult. He believed that Master Bhavari should have helped him first. He was certain that Master Bhavari had some gold coins left. So, he pretended to perform a cursing ritual in front of Master Bhavari's hermitage. He built a sand mound and scattered flower petals on it, while cursing Master Bhavari, wishing him a terrible fate, that his head would shatter into pieces within 7 days. When Master Bhavari heard this, he became worried about the curse because he hadn't given alms as requested. He couldn't eat or sleep, filled with dread of the curse. Lord Foch, Master Bhavari, is a teacher, a spiritual leader, respected by many people, known to be knowledgeable and well-learned. Why is he so swayed by these seemingly absurd curses? I asked Lord Foch, while journeying through Akita's memory. Having a lot of knowledge doesn't necessarily mean having mental freedom, he replied. Your answer makes me even more curious. Is what you're saying related to my question? Yes, it is. But you need to understand the whole process first. To put it bluntly, the more knowledge one has, the more attachments one has. The more attachments, the less chance of being free, he replied vaguely, in the style of higher dimensional beings. You speak so indirectly, I don't understand. And how is it related to what Master Bhavari is going through now? I asked. Master Bhavari is a very educated person and remembers what he has learned accurately. In fact, his knowledge is so profound that he understands the mechanisms of the world's creation, the creation of the universe, and even knows that higher dimensional beings like us exist. If you ask him if he knows me, he will answer that he knows me well. He chants prayers to me constantly. But do you believe that he has never communicated with me in the way you are doing now? Not even once. Because he knows me as knowledge, not as understanding, he replied. This is even less related to my question, I commented. Let me illustrate with an analogy. If you hold an apple in your hand, can you perceive that there is no apple in your hand? He asked. I hesitated to answer because I didn't know what point Lord Foch was making. If you are a young child who has eaten an apple with this appearance before, the memory of that past experience makes you believe that it definitely exists because you have experienced its sweet and crunchy taste. You will never perceive that it doesn't exist. On the other hand, if someone tells you it doesn't exist, you will argue that it's not true because it's right there in your hand. But if you are a PhD in chemistry, an expert in the field, you will see the apple in your hand as merely a chemical compound, formed by the combination of elements, through the genetic formation process of the apple tree as a fixed template. At this moment, the apple is just a point of convergence of a process. Only one process. You might not see the apple anymore, but you will see the chemical compound instead, which is hard for you not to believe exists, because it has been scientifically proven to exist. But if you are God, the creator of all things, the creator of the world, the creator of the universe, and the creator of the entire process that resulted in this apple, you will see that this apple is just a fleeting phenomenon, a fraction of a second compared to the entire timeline of the universe. Therefore, God will never hold on to the belief that it exists, because everything comes from emptiness, and it will quickly return to emptiness, since you know that all things are truly non-existent, and if you don't cling to anything, that thing will not exist. Master I think your answer is off topic. It's going very far, I protested. It's relevant because Master Bavari's knowledge is the knowledge he clings to. He clings to the belief that it exists. He believes that the curse is real, has the power to make bad things happen to him. So, he is afraid that it will come true. The curse will only be real for those who think it is real, and it will be non-existent for those who don't cling to its existence. And this level of attachment is the indicator of how much mental freedom a person has. When I say level of attachment, it doesn't actually have levels. But at this moment, Master Bavari has a level of attachment that is no different from that of a chemistry expert. If he can let go of that attachment, can perceive the non-existence of all things, or can perceive it as just a phenomenon, he will be free from that attachment immediately. And to achieve this mental freedom, it's not necessary to pass through stage 1, stage 2, until all stages are completed. On the contrary, if you use the method of ascending the ladder, by letting go of one attachment to cling to another thing, that is perceived as higher or more correct. It will create a new attachment that is more difficult to release, because clinging to the belief that your knowledge is the most correct is even harder to free oneself from, he explained. Love and goodwill is the power of the spirit, and what we will do from now on is the love and goodwill you have for Master Bavari, he said. And how will we give him this goodwill? I wondered about the method. Just watch the story unfold, he suggested. Okay. The next morning, when Akita the ascetic carried the food that the villagers offered to Master Bavari's hermitage, he didn't see Master Bavari sitting in his usual place. He looked around the hermitage but saw no one. So, he called out softly with respect. Teacher, where are you? Akita called as he stepped onto the porch of the hermitage. Akita, is that you? I'm in the room. Master Bavari's weak voice came from the bedroom. Are you unwell, teacher? I'll get some medicine, Akita asked. I'm fine. I just need to rest, he replied. When Akita entered the bedroom, he saw Master Bavari in an unusual state. He was curled up like a fetus in the womb. His eyes were filled with fear, and his face looked anxious. What happened to you, teacher? Akita quickly knelt down and crawled closer to Master Bavari. Master Bavari stammered.